I have to say something, Natwang is founded 14 years back, and all the 14 years back lived experience journey recently, before a month, it is uploaded by National Bank of Ethiopia, because National Bank of Ethiopia did a lot of transformation in the financial sector, and there was a women financial inclusion scorecard. It was done with collaboration World Bank of Ethiopia, World Bank, and Natwang is rated the only transformational bank in Ethiopia.
I'm representing Ankobra West Rural Bank. It is in the western part of Ghana, and we are the first rural bank in the western and the fourth in the country. We believe that the banking sector in Africa is not responding to the needs of Africa. It's rather supporting the demands of the West. And so we don't pay attention to what our people need. We pay attention to how to make things get out of our country, because some paymasters somewhere need them.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to everyone, good evening. My name is Dr. Walter Gilpin. I'm a Sierra Leonean, and I started off my career as a central banker in the Central Bank of Sierra Leone, and then I worked international with organizations like the Commonwealth Secretariat. You work for the World Bank, the IMF, then as a consultant for European Union, African Development Bank, Carnegie, and so on and so forth. And after that sojourning of providing technical support, advisory work in countries all over the world, I went back home in 2017, and I got appointed as the CEO of Rokel Commercial Bank.
Since you are all working in the same sector, I have the same set of questions for you. Whoever is comfortable can take the lead. All right, my first question, how would you describe the current role of banking sector in Africa's economic development? And is the African banking system evolving fast enough to meet the needs of a rapidly growing youthful population? Dr. Kudayo, perhaps you could start.
Thank you so much. It's quite a detailed question. It's quite loaded. You know, how will you talk about the role of the African banking sector in Africa? Is it evolving enough to meet the needs of the urban young and the rural young? Well, I think this has different facets to it. You start with looking at Africa itself. You know, look at Africa, you have the MENA, that's the Middle East and North Africa, North Africans, and look at Africa south of the Sahara. Then take Africa as a composite index of itself. Africa is a vast region of unique opportunities, similarities and differences, cultures and languages. And Africa is a continent that has been colonized by different superpowers, and therefore the allegiance of individual countries most times is tied to the psychology of these superpowers. Ethiopia was never colonized, but then we're all Africans. Now, when you look at the issues that pertain towards banking in Africa, you see the traditional type of banking, which my colleague has spoken about, which gravitates towards meeting the needs of traditional banking. But when you look beyond the shores of Africa, you realize that even traditional banking in the wider world is changing. Okay, the banking infrastructure actually has to rely on the regulator who sets up the tone, the participants, or the banks themselves. So you have to have a focus. Now, you need to take Africa with its vast array of land and opportunities and the young population. So we look at what we can provide, and that is banking. Now, in Africa, you realize that you have countries that have grown faster. For example, if you look at the penetration rates of mobile networks, you look at Mauritius, look at South Africa, look at Kenya, look at Nigeria, they were ahead. You look at Congo, you may look at, well, I don't want to say Sierra Leone, I mean, look at Congo, look at Sierra Leone, you look at maybe other countries in Eastern Africa, they're further down the line. So how do you then start saying, okay, I'm going to build up this banking sector to operate within the African environment and look at the new infrastructure, which has to do with penetration of internet, penetration of the MNOs, and penetration of road access, health access, and other access towards rural areas. So Africa came up with the, I think it's AFTAC, African Continental Free Trade Area, which Ethiopia started participating a few years back. If Africa thinks that we can now connect each other through a free trade pact. We need to ensure we all have the similar kind of infrastructure, we have the similar kind of base that we're going to work on, and we have the similar kind of objectives for banking. So in conclusion, what am I trying to say? We should see, one, what's the infrastructure? How good is it? Two, how was banking developed in the wider world and in Africa, which is digital banking? Three, what are the MNOs doing? You look at M-Pesa in Kenya. In Sierra Leone, we have what we call the SIM couple. Other countries have their own digital payment platform. They all have to operate on an MNO infrastructure.
For the sake of time, I think he has dealt with it. So maybe I'll pick the next question. Yeah.
Sure. What are the biggest barriers preventing millions of Africans from accessing formal banking services? And how can banks better serve rural communities and in the informal sector?
I think Doctor did a great job on that already. You look at the infrastructure, and you see that the infrastructure is not tailored to assist the individuals who really need the facilities. Come to Ghana, go to our villages. Internet not working. The physical building there that we say we should move away from is not there. So they get the money and it is sitting with them. Some have very good ideas. I think recently I read on the internet of a gentleman in Nigeria also who have developed a certain television who doesn't need any cable at all to run. He's there in a certain village. He can't access any credit. And you will see other people who are doing so well. What they need is probably bookkeeping, just basic bookkeeping, to put their things together. So they will know that, well, this is good, that is. So this is where we would have to go and assess. This is what we should do. The banking sector has been tailored in a certain way. So if you don't fall within those categories of, say, importing certain kind of goods or exporting certain kind of raw materials, it's difficult to get credit.
Could you please elaborate on how the Women's Bank in Africa contributes to the continent's overall development? And additionally, what specific incentives or benefits do women receive by banking with your institution?
Thank you so much. I think to go back to your first two questions, especially the second one, you know, the barriers, there are many barriers. Demands, a lot of demands, barriers, but at least in our banking side, as a women bank institution or financial institution, the collateral problem and there is high interest burden. For that, we leverage the commercial bank profits that we get. So 3% of the profit is set aside as impact fund or as risk fund so that it will be used for those women who are not bringing or not collateral. We get a matching fund from the MasterCard Foundation because it needs collaboration. The barriers that we are facing is very huge, so it needs collaboration. So we are making this collaboration effectively so that we will be able to serve almost 22,000 women. All are women, by the way. So we are also a fund we get from Women Entrepreneur Development Fund. It is from the World Bank. So this is not bank, the only bank that gets the fund. We need to come, together. We need to learn together so that we'll solve our African problems together.
Now we're starting off this interview by saying congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Highly appreciate it.
First time in Addis?
Indeed, it's the first time.
How are you feeling?
It's beautiful. It's a bit chilly. I think it's winter time.
Yes.
People are beautiful. I mean, literally beautiful, and then the hats are warm, very welcoming. It's a nice place, and I like to be here again.
Planning to move here?
I would love that. Give me space to stay.
So please introduce yourself, the country you came in, the company that you're representing.
My name is Dr. Walton Ekendo-Gilpin. I'm a Sierra Leonean. I'm the CEO of a local bank called Rokel Commercial Bank. And I'm representing banking in Sierra Leone in this particular exercise today.
So what is the award that you won by?
The award is Commercial Bank of the Year Africa. It's quite significant.
I know. Wow, representing Sierra Leone in Africa. Come on, that's really nice. So let's talk about this conference, and you were one of the panelists. How was the panel discussion?
Very educative, very innovative, very thought-provoking, and a lot of ideas came through. And I felt that there are a lot of things that can be extracted from that to contribute towards Africa's overall development.
Exactly. And what do you think does the bank has a role on when it comes to empowering the youth?
The bank has really been strong in the digital space of things. We have rolled out applications, we've rolled out mobile banking, been able to take agency banking to a wider level. And because of this bank in Sierra Leone, a lot more people have become financially included, and they're actively participating in finance through banking, as this bank has moved out to the rural areas to get the rural poor, the rural wealthy, and the urban poor, and even the corporates to come on board for digital banking.
That is so true. So regarding African development, and when it comes to investment in intra-trade, creating intra-trade in Africa, as an African, also as a person that's leading the bank, a bank, tell us what is your thoughts when it comes to strengthening that sector?
Well, see, cross-continent trade is quite limited. It is less exciting and is less voluminous than trade with Africa and Europe and America. Because we have cross-border currency differences, we have perception also of locations, we have the quality of these goods we're looking at, we have a lack of knowledge of how to add value to these goods. For example, if you take the platinum group minerals, and these are perfectly, should I say, very precious minerals that are used mainly in aviation, they're used in making EV, electronic vehicle batteries, used in making headlights. These minerals come from Africa, but value is not added to them. Now, you say you want to trade them across Africa. You find out EV, electronic vehicles in Africa. In South Africa, you have about maybe 6,000 out of the 13 million, 20 million cars in South Africa. In Kenya, you have about 1,000 out of 3.3 million cars in Kenya. And these are the top level countries that have more EV cars. So if we're going to trade in these platinum group minerals, we cannot find a market for them in Africa. We cannot find the companies who finish this properly in Africa. So we sell them to the West. Now, also to China. Now, what can we do about this? We can have them come and add value in Africa. Make the factories in Africa, give them tax holidays, and let us have PPP operations, and they'll begin to operate in Africa, within Africa, and trade better in Africa. We look at other raw materials. Let us look at agricultural products, and we look at finishing of these products. Let us take fruit juice. Let us take yogurt. Let us take milk, things that can be done easily in Africa. The finishing product might be very good in South Africa, but not as good in Tanzania. The finishing product may be seen as appetizing in Kenya, but not as much as in Senegal. So you find out that the Senegalese who rather want to trade with France can trade with South Africa. So we need to change the perception. We need to increase how we refine our products. We need to get banking more involved across the continent. Now let's come to banking. We use cards across Africa that are Visa or MasterCards. You hardly find like VAV cards being used widely in Africa because we believe more in the Visa and in the MasterCard type of exchange system, switch system, than VAV system. So unless and until we have Africans building up their own switches across Africa and in a wider scale, and the confidence to use our products grows amongst Africans, we'll always have these limitations in trade in Africa.
Exactly. And it's not only about buying goods or selling goods, it's also about exchanging cultures, about exchanging histories, about creating that unseen ties, but felt ties, you know? So I definitely agree. I want you to enjoy enjoy and celebrate your achievement, I could say. And thank you so much for your time. I don't want to take much more.
It's a pleasure. It's a joy being here. And thank you for having me.
Is there anything that you'd love to say? Because this show is My Africa. A lot of people are watching. You that are watching. What do you want to put out? It's your chance.
I love to say, Africans, let's come together. Let's be more Africanized and let's just look at ourselves as our people. Let's be a perfect African and an imperfect imitation of a European.
Bravo to that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am more than privileged to have been given this opportunity to serve as the current Deputy Minister of Tourism and Cultural Affairs in my country. In my sector, what I am much more grateful for, because this has been something that has been very daunting, close to my heart, is making sure that our culture is revived back. Because of how we have been exposed to the Western world, our culture, some of us in our countries, some countries, our culture has taken the backseat. Now, when we talk about tourism, tourism in Africa plays a vital role in making sure that our continent's economic landscape grows. It also contributes to the GDP. And so for me, one of the things that I've been doing for the past 2 years upon my appointment is making sure that we recruit the young ones, women in tourism, girls in tourism, and we teach them how to create things. We have to come up with strategic ways in telling our stories. Like when I entered the room, everybody was like, oh wow, your dress is beautiful. I intentionally did it, not because I wanted attention, but because I wanted my country's story to be told by the way how I'm dressed, not by my position. So my position is just a position, but I want when I enter that room, you are able to see, feel, and experience Sierra Leone. If we leave this room today, whatever we take with us, let us know that we're Africa, we are one continent. It is the same blood that runs through our vein. Let us use that and work together, collaborate, ask questions, feed each other, each one teach one, each one love one, each one support one. That is the only way we can take our powers back and build for the next generation to come. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, or is it good evening, everyone? My name is Mwanajuma Haboka Heribae. I come from Kenya. I am the County Secretary and Head of Public Service. I am also the County Minister in charge of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Veterinary Services for the County Government of Tana River. I'm here representing His Excellency the Governor of Tana River, Professor Dado Gadaye Godana, who is receiving an award here today. As the Governor of Tana River County, out of the, 8 executive positions, 3 of us are women. And not only women, but he has given the most powerful dockets to women. I am the County Secretary and Head of Public Service, but I'm also heading one of the largest departments in the county, that is of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Veterinary Services. The County Executive in charge of Finance is also a woman. The County Executive in charge of Water, which is a key sector in Tana River. Remember, Tana River is a semi-desert county, so is also a woman. Now, to go back to the current question, the status of governance in Africa, and I must say that we are making progress as a continent, I would say that. We have made advancements in ensuring that the education access, I think there has been a campaign across Africa to ensure that we take our children to school. We also have challenges. Not all of us are on the same level as Africa, because there are some countries that still have challenges. And one of the challenges that is coming up is that during transitions, we are having challenges that people are not accepting the transitions that are there. That, of course, poses a challenges because it scares away investors, and we want to develop our countries. So that is a challenge that we must look at and see how best we can remedy that situation. And most of you who have been following the news, I think you must have seen what happened in Kenya recently with the Gen Z's movement challenging. It is a good thing, but at the same time, it took us to a level that even some of the big companies, big industries were almost pulling out of Kenya because there was unrest. And people who want to come and grow with us were scared. What is the future of Kenya? So I want to end it there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time, and you look so amazing.
Thank you. We have to represent.
Does this outfit has a name?
Well, it doesn't have a name yet. I just had to create something coming over here, something that represents my people, my nation, my culture.
I see. So today we met at African Development Conference, and the vibe is really nice. It's so vibrant. Everybody's looking really nice. So tell us, how is the event so far?
I am loving it. I mean, if Africa is on the rise, the time for Africa is now. And if we don't collaborate and work together and represent who we are as a continent, then I don't know what we're doing. So this is just a perfect event for that, where people from different countries come to represent and talk about development, you know, talk about investments and so forth and so on. And that's one of the reasons why I'm happy to be representing my nation today, Sierra Leone. As you know, Sierra Leone is going places. In terms of women representation, our president made sure that there's 30% quota women that are represented in cabinet in different other sectors in my country. Apart from that, women are now also taking the forefront lead in businesses and other kinds of things in different sectors. So I am really loving this, meeting new people, learning from the Ethiopian culture. Salam. So yes.
Well, you know, a lot of people know this common word like salam, ishi, amasagnalo. So now, such kind of events have their own impact, especially when you, like people from different part of Africa, when they gather together in the same room, talking about something really powerful as development, it's really important. So tell us, what do you think is the impact of such kind of conferences?
Well, the impact, first of all, is meeting different people and learning from their own perspective. Because you can be in your country and think that this is my problem, this is how I want to solve my problem. But when we gather together from different places and we all have one common problem, then we are all able to solve it globally. So for me, that's really the impact. Because when we get to sit on the panel tonight, you'll hear from different people and their perspective of what they think on one question. And then from what you think you believe and what they as well believe, you gather all of that together, put it together, it becomes a mastermind for you to go build, promote, rebuild, and rebrand your nation.
Yeah. So this is not something that should stop here?
No,
of course, right?
I think we should take it everywhere, to whoever wants to listen, whoever wants to be a part of. This is a good initiative. The time is now, the time is right, and so I think we should run with it.
Exactly, and this is just the beginning?
Yes.
There's going to be a lot of other things, and in fact, it's what do you call it? It's a team kind of.
Right.
Exactly.
And I'm really excited about what I saw on the exhibition side. I see people using newspaper. I thought it was only Sierra Leone that we are crazy like that, where we use newspaper to do things. But then now I'm even more challenged, seeing that newspaper work is done so neatly in the form of a basket, a placemat, picture frame. I mean, I'm like, taking so much home. It's like the battle line is drawn. Yes. But I'm really excited about this. This should not stop. We should really take it as far as we can.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you so much. I know you want to have some chit-chats, go and be part of this conference, of course. But lastly, if you want to put out a message on behalf of Sierra Leone, especially not only for the private sectors or like for those people that are trying to create what they can, but also for the governmental sectors, tell us, what is it that you will give out as a Deputy Minister of Tourism?
So as a Deputy Minister, what I have really embarked on is raising youth in tourism, women in tourism. We work together with them, the inmates and different kind of women that are in the jail. We go and work with them to learn how to do these local things, to be creative with their hands, so once they come out, they have something to do. And so as Africa, we should know that we're not just a continent, but we were created for a purpose, we're created for greatness. And so we should not relent on using our own local content to making sure that this is who we are, this is our brand, and showcasing our nations. So for me, really, the last word is, let's not give up. Let's keep pushing and stand strong together. Collectively, we can build.
Exactly. I have nothing to say. Thank you so much,
You're
Your Excellency. Thank you so much for your time.
Welcome.
First time in Adash?
Yeah, first time to be here.
How is it?
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Your city is very green, very clean. And the people are friendly too.
I guess. So tell us about yourself. Introduce yourself and your position, where you came from for our audience.
Okay. My name is Mwana Juma. Hereby, I'm from Kenya. I am the county secretary and head of public service for the county government of Tana River. I'm here on behalf of our governor, His Excellency Professor Dado Gadaye Godana, who is receiving an award today. So I'm here with a team from Kenya to represent him and also to receive the award for him.
Ooh, so we're here to celebrate.
Yeah, we're here
Congratulations.
to celebrate. Thank you.
You know, it's so funny because Ethiopians and Kenyans, we have a lot of things in common.
Yeah.
So do we, other African countries. But tell us about what you feel such kind of conferences have benefit when it comes to connecting us. Because now we're connected, now we're having this conversation because of this conference. So what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, first of all, I'm happy because I'm looking at the culture and it's almost similar to a culture from where I come from. In Tana River, we have the Orma people. Okay. And if you look at their dressing, even the way you speak, it's almost similar. So for me, I am looking at that blended culture between our people and yourselves. I'm also looking at how clean your city is and the planning in general for here. And I am saying, what is it that we can borrow from Adash, Ethiopia, to Tana River as we plan our cities and our towns. Yes.
That is so true.
Yeah.
You know what I love the most? I love when I see women in the leading position actually doing what they are naturally good at as a woman. So tell us, how can we empower the youth, empower the young people, women, when it comes to our continent, Africa, especially as a person that's involved in that sense?
Create more employment opportunities, but here we're also talking about investments. How can we bring the youth on board to start looking at doing business? Not only them being in groups, but also turning groups into enterprise, something that they can sell. In Kenya, we have the Gen Z movement. The youth are there. But how can we bring them now to venture into the agriculture sector, to venture into business, to venture into export? Creating opportunities for them to make money, that is one. Because that way we empower them and they cease to be idle, and then we have the many problems that we are having. That is one. But also empower the women. We know women are the backbone of the society. If you look even at the sectors, in agriculture, most of the ones who are doing the manual work are actually the women. But how can we move the women not only to be at the farm, but also to venture into marketing, to transport, and other sector of agribusiness, so that now they can grow the economy? Those are some of the things that I will look at. But how can we promote free trade across Africa? Reduce the barriers that are there, customs, the barriers that are there, the tariffs that are there, so that we can do business amongst ourselves, so that we can improve the economy of our continent.
Exactly. And in fact, we have a lot of things to share, to market, to make sure that one country is supported by the other country, and create that interrelated economy, you know? So I don't want to take much more time, but the last question I have is, especially for the investors, African diasporas living abroad, governmental bodies that needs to contribute to this process, especially when it comes to trade. What is it that you have to say?
I want to welcome them to Kenya, and I want to welcome them to Tana River County. We have a wealth of opportunities, and we welcome everybody who is willing to invest in Tana River County. Right now we have a program of shelter. We are trying to provide shelter, dignified shelter to our people, because we have suffered over the years through floods and drought. Yes. So we are trying to move people to higher grounds so that they can have dignified shelter. That is one opportunity. But the other opportunity that we have is expanding the area under agriculture in Tana River County. Move more into irrigation farming, small scale and large scale irrigation farming in Tana River County, so that we can produce more, not only for ourselves, but for the entire country. And now move the people into agribusiness. But the other thing that is to promote trade. We have trade and tourism. We have sites in Tana River that have not been explored. And people can come, enjoy the magic and beauty of Tana River and the culture. We have a very rich culture. So I want to invite everybody to come to Tana River. We have room for everyone. We have the right environment. It is peaceful, and we will be more than willing to have a discussion around investments opportunities that are there. Yeah.
So the callings are out. You are only responsible to reach out, right?
Yes.
So asante sana.
Karibu, karibu, karibu.
Oh my God.
Karibu, and thank you so much.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you. Have a good Thank you for your time. Please introduce yourself for our audience.
My name is Joseph Ben Kaifala, and I am from Freetown, Sierra Leone.
Okay, so I've been asking people, trying to make some kind of survey, asking them, is it their first time here in Addis? It's your first time?
Yes, this is my first time in Ethiopia.
Nkwanda na mata. Say nkwanda na koyachi. It's like saying karibu. Sorry.
Well, a longer version of
A longer
that.
version. I'm sorry, I'm a bit fast when I speak about it. So we met at this conference, ADC, and you were one of the panelists. So how was the panel discussion? Tell us.
It was a fantastic panel discussion because for me, it's very important in the scheme of African development to speak of girls' education because all across this continent, girls are marginalized for various reasons, and subsequently women are marginalized as well. So any conference that includes conversation about how to elevate the status of women and girls on the continent is very important for me. Lies one sector of our society. I don't understand how this does not become commonsensical issue, but apparently it's not. So we ought to keep talking about it so that hopefully in our lifetime this become a non-issue.
Exactly, exactly. And one thing that we should understand is every single contribution matters, right?
Right, right. This has to be collective efforts.
Exactly.
Building society must involve everyone. We cannot exclude people and expect that we can build a society.
So I sometimes ask myself, conference is not the only solution, right? Or summits or meetings. So what do you think as an African, as a person that involves in that process, what do you suggest for people that are responsible, key actors, to do after such kind of initiatives?
The way I view conferences and workshops is that we learn from these conferences and workshops and go back to our individual countries and societies to implement what we have learned, to deal with the issues that we have discussed. Because one of my problems on the African continent is we are very good at this theoretical conversation. Our problem now is translating theory to practice. I started the panel by saying that we have all the data on girls' marginalization and girls' education. What we need to do now is to make sure that we're actually implementing the solutions to these problems.
Exactly. So thank you so much. I don't want you to miss the show. I'm really like trying to take some few things that you can say. Again, thank you so much. If there's anything you'd love to say, anything that you would love to pass on, because this is my Africa show. A lot of people are watching, so if you have anything to say,
I think African development is going to take collective effort, and we need to now find a way to transcend the conversational level because a lot of the research already exists. So we now need to move on to action. There's very limited action on the continent, and the older generation of African leaders need to realize that there's a younger generation calling for revolution. The same spirits they had when they demanded our independence is the spirit we have now in demand of progress and a better society for the next generation.
Exactly. Oh my God, high five for that. A really nice statement. Again, thank you.
Thank you.
So everyone, as you guys can see, the last part of this event is happening, which is the award ceremony, and people from all across Africa came here today in different sectors. They got awarded, honored, and acknowledged for what they do, from the banking, to the mining, to the agriculture. You guys name it, as much as possible. They tried to just touch every single important sector in our continent, Africa. I hope you guys got a good insight on what ADC is about, what this event held for you guys to see and enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. We'll pass on to the next segment. I don't want to hold any more time, so I shall say we will pass on and stay tuned.